Yeah, first tip is to actually fuel the training. I think a lot of people don't have the information or don't know really what fueling looks like. And I think over my career, I've realized that it's a lot more than I think. I know maybe 10 years ago, we were talking about 30, 60 grams of carbs an hour. And now in more recent years, it's sort of around the 80 to 90 grams of carbs an hour. So even now, I think there's research around mountain marathon runners, I think I've read, doing 120 grams an hour. So yeah, definitely fueling the training and fueling the racing. So for example, in a race, I'm aiming for around that 80, 90 grams of carbs an hour. And for me, yeah, from the start of the race as well. And the biggest thing I've noticed is just how much more energy I have later in the race when I'm fueling well like that, both for one-day races and then in terms of just recovering between tours or between harder training days. And so that also leads into, in terms of fueling, I think also the recovery important and getting back in the carbohydrates and the protein for muscle recovery after is really important. And for me, I always try to do that in the first hour, is getting that fuel back in. And the other thing as well that we do is the carb loading, or making sure we have a really good, day before of carbohydrate intake. And that can look like 8 to 10 grams of carbs per kilogram body weight. And then normally the morning of a race, we'll eat sort of 3 hours before. I normally get in 100, 120 grams of carbs. So yeah, I am a bit particular with this, and I'm working one-on-one with Louise Burke now. So that's been really fun to work with her and get that sort of insight and help to plan that. But they're probably the three biggest things, is really knowing how to fuel your training and trying it. And I think it's definitely a trial and error sort of thing. Like I know the first time someone said, eat 80 grams an hour, it's not something you can just go out and just chuck it in. I remember many years ago we did that in a training ride, and I think half of us ended up vomiting on the side of the road. So it's definitely something you have to train your gut to do. But I think if you can do it, and I still to this day have training sessions where I will periodize the training, and then we'll look at it and say, okay, these are going to be really hard sessions or really key sessions. Let's do race fueling here. Let's practice the race fueling. So it is something, it's almost like a part of the training is making sure you touch on that. And not only does it help the harder sessions be better, but it's also, adapting your body to being able to take in that fuel. Hi, it's Amanda Spratt, Team BikeExchange Jayco rider, 3 times Aussie champ, 2 times World Championship medalist, and you're listening to the Physical Performance Show.